So, Smackdown. A decent episode with the surprise many don't seem in favor of. Plus, the Bloodline saga continues along with the Women's United States Tournament. And the whole Kevin Owens and Cody Rhodes rivalry seems to be heating up before Saturday night's main event. We had a very random match of Chad Gable versus Cody Rhodes as the main event, when Cody was cutting his promo at the start of the show, talking about his match with Kevin Owens. Chad Gable, along with the rest of American Made, interrupt him. Chad Gable takes the side of Kevin Owens, and Cody Rhodes basically insults him with sweet talk, talking about his potential and actually praises him, but how one more failed match could hurt him big time. So we get the match as the main event for Smackdown, and Chad Gable loses, not so surprising. After a decent match though, it was a good match, Kevin Owens then attacks Cody Rhodes. Earlier on in the show, Kevin seemingly left the arena, so this was meant to be a surprise, although I saw this coming, honestly. Kevin refused a sit-down interview with Cody, and we had Michael Cole interview him in the car, in the parking lot, which didn't go down well with Kevin Owens, and then Kevin Owens just left. I like this version of Kevin Owens because he's a heel that actually makes sense. His frustrations are tough to deny, even if he has his violent ways of dealing with it. My prediction for the match at Saturday Night Main Event is that Cody will beat Kevin Owens. I don't see Kevin winning. As for the question, who will be the one to take the belt off of Cody Rhodes? I actually think things are about to get interesting. Now just hear me out. I just hope it's not Roman Reigns, obviously, because there are many possibilities. So, hear me out. On this episode of Smackdown, it was basically confirmed that there's going to be some back and forth and switching of talent from Raw to SmackDown and from SmackDown to Raw. This is clearly to make Raw more jam-packed for Netflix. Gunther was backstage on SmackDown during this episode, and that tells me that perhaps Gunther will be switching to SmackDown, which means Cody is probably going to be switching to Raw. And Raw has many potential opponents. CM Punk, Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre. Obviously it's possible that one of them may switch to SmackDown. So, really, we just don't know what will happen. Yet the possibilities are endless, honestly, as to who could be Cody Rhodes' next opponent and who could potentially take the belt off of Cody Rhodes in the future. I also just hope, however, that SmackDown doesn't become stale because of this and the whole hype of Raw on Netflix. They gotta keep SmackDown exciting as well. The Bloodline enter the arena frustrated, beating up basically anyone they can, the security, whoever comes in their way. They are pissed, obviously, for losing at War Games. They are also down one member since Tangaloa is injured. After the LA Knight and Shinsuke Nakamura segment, the Bloodline randomly appear, and they basically take out LA Knight, they take out Andrade, who's there. Shinsuke Nakamura, however, manages to escape. And the way he escapes is very interesting. Solo Sikoa then goes on to basically say how things are not over yet, right? Basically, he still has the Ulafala, he's still the tribal chief. I see a potential Solo versus Roman Reigns match in the future, but the problem here is that I don't feel Solo has been booked strong enough for him to seem like a threat to Roman Reigns. Jacob Fatu, however, seems like a real threat, but the story in terms of story, that just doesn't really make much sense at the moment. However, yes, Jacob Fatu is definitely a bigger threat to Roman Reigns than Solo Sikoa, but I don't see that happening anytime soon. There's still time for that. Also, DIY go heel on this episode of SmackDown, and they are the new tag team champions after beating Motor City Machine Guns. I like the way the heel turn happened during the match, the way it was choreographed, but I also enjoy the Motor City Machine Guns, right? I love them. So I'm divided on this decision. And I know I'm not the only one, by the way, who isn't taking kindly to this decision of switching the belt over. Because mainly, I mean, the Motor City Machine Guns, first they were pushed, and then they just had a very short reign as tag team champions. Either way, I see them going very far in the business, generally speaking. It's just that this decision was maybe a bit questionable. So those are basically the main story elements of this episode of Smackdown. It's still a mystery as to who attacked Jade Cargill. Bianca makes it clear that she will destroy whoever attacked her. Speaking of which, Bianca has an impressive victory on this episode of Smackdown, beating Piper Niven, despite her little injury and interferences by Chelsea Green. Tiffany Stratton advances in the Women's United States Championship Tournament. So they're definitely pushing Tiffany Stratton, even though she already has the Money in the Bank briefcase. We don't know what's going to happen with that. But this is interesting, right? I mean, she could win the United States Women's Championship and be the Money in the Bank briefcase holder. That's totally possible. That's it, really. Overall, a decent episode of Smackdown, though the Chad versus Cody match seemed like a forced main event just for the sake of it. I guess you need to do that every now and then. I'm also just hoping the Bloodline saga gets more interesting now. We are about 4 months away from WrestleMania 41, so things just really need to start cooking. So guys, that's that. That's my review for Smackdown and my thoughts moving forward. Please do subscribe, like, share, all that jazz. Also just hit the notification button. And yeah guys, till next time. Peace out. Bye.